No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for March 8th, 2024. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Things definitely heating up. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. Thank you very much for your viewership and support. Now, let's get into this show. Before we begin, shout out to Hamp, who sent in a $9.99 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you for that. Hamp said, I figured out my problem with WWE. There used to be something different every week, like destroying someone's car or the beer truck angle. Now, every single week, all they do is talk in the ring. The talking in the ring is actually nothing new. I mean, going back to the beginning of the Attitude Era, there was a lot of talking on the show. Often you would have Steve Austin coming out there and cutting a promo, something between him and Vince McMahon. That's when it really got going. But yes, they were doing various types of angles back at that time period. They're talking because they're trying to promote the biggest show of all time, arguably. They're calling it the biggest WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 40, a milestone show. Shout out to Chunky, who sent in a $5 super chat. But Chunky, I will get to your comment here in just a little bit when I get to the main event segment. So I will not forget it, Chunky. I will get to it very shortly, I promise. Let's talk about the beginning of the show. We had a recap of last week, and then The Rock showed up in a truck. He had a cowboy hat on. WWE was in Dallas, Texas, and this was the 6th straight sellout for WWE television. They're hoping to continue that with number 7 on Monday. They're in Houston. Looks like it's going to sell out. And then next Friday, they're in Memphis. They still got a ways to go with tickets for that, but that could potentially be number 8. WWE on a hot streak right now. We opened up the show with Logan Paul. He talked about being a conqueror. He brought up his YouTube channel, his boxing career, his 5-star matches, talked about breaking WWE records. Crowd was chanting what, by the way? They were just not having it. He brought up how his company Prime is going to become the first ring mat sponsor for every WWE PLE event moving forward, starting with WrestleMania. I thought he was kidding at first. I thought this was just him trolling, but apparently it is the real deal. WWE sent out a press release, and I guess we're going to have to look at Prime bottles at every premium live event for the time being. Hey, I mean, it's a common thing in sports, but I thought it was a little obnoxious what they had in the ring. Maybe it'll be smaller. Maybe it'll be in the corner or something. I'm not sure. But either way, good for WWE, I guess, to make some more money. He introduced KSI, who is a very popular YouTube personality, and he's close friends, business partners with Logan Paul. He was at WrestleMania last year. They were going to pose for a photo, and all of a sudden we had Randy Orton's music hit. He snuck into the ring, went for an RKO, but Logan Paul was able to escape. KSI, however, got the RKO. Orton took a sip of the Prime drink. He actually said it was good, but then he poured it over KSI's crotch. Fun little segment here to kick off the show. And Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Building Nexus, I will get to your super chat at the end. I'm trying to get to these super chats when we get to the topic, but I will get to yours. Don't worry about it. And same thing with Sam. While Well, I'll do Sam right now. He said, do you want The Rock and Roman to beat Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes? I'll talk about that more later, but thank you for the super chat. I would say go with whatever will build the most heat for night 2. I don't think Seth Rollins should be doing the job in that match unless Damian Priest cashes in and they make the match with McIntyre a triple threat, which they could do. But again, we'll talk more about that later. Ultimately, I think night 1's main event should really be used to set up night 2 and build more heat for that match. So whatever they come up with, it needs to set up night 2 and get people more hyped up for it. So anyways, let's get to our first match, which was Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, RKO versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. It was a basic tag team match. It was very average. Just your standard tag team match. Could have been on a house show. Theory and Waller did get the upper hand for a while, but then Orton came in with the hot tag. Waller got hit with the stunner, and then Owens did the pop-up powerbomb sequence where he lifted up Theory, and Orton took him down with an RKO and got the 1-2-3 victory. I like the move, so maybe we're going to see a tag team here in the future more often. RKO. They pick up a victory here, and then Logan Paul attacked both guys after the match. He got his brass knucks, and he tried to hit Orton, but he got the brass knucks. Orton went to take out Logan, but Logan got out of the ring. Owens almost got hit by Orton. We still don't know what's going to happen with Randy Orton, Logan Paul. Does Kevin Owens get in the mix for WrestleMania? Not exactly clear yet, but we still got several weeks to go until WrestleMania. We had Bayley in a sit-down interview, and she questioned if her friendship with Damage Control was ever real, or were they just using her? Bayley brought up how Dakota Kai manipulated her. Bayley fell for it. She said she would have done anything for Damage Control, but they made a mistake in underestimating her, and she will do everything possible to break them. Effective little segment here. And backstage, we had Bianca Belair chatting it up with Naomi. Naomi feels bad about what happened to Bayley, but not Bianca so much. Remember, Bianca and Bayley have a lot of history, so Bianca doesn't really feel sorry. At this point, there's still no clear direction for Bianca either at WrestleMania. So we'll see if there's anything that gets going in the next couple of weeks. We had Bobby Lashley going up against Karrion Kross, and this match went down exactly as I expected. This was a setup for the multi-man match. It was what it was. Kross did dominate a good portion of the match, and at one point, Lashley sent Kross to the outside and was going to send him into the ring post, but Scarlett prevented this from happening. She blocked it, and that gave Kross the upper hand for a while. But then Lashley made his comeback, and sure enough, AOPP interfered. They came in, attacked Lashley, causing the disqualification, and then the Street Profits ran down with their old music, by the way. So it definitely looks like that heel run has been put to pasture. Scarlett got into the ring. B-Fab slapped Scarlett, and then Lashley went for the Hurt Lock to Kross, but AOP came back in, and Lashley ended up getting laid out. So my guess is we're going to see a six-man tag team match at WrestleMania. It was just your basic build-up. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. I appreciate it. He says, today in history in 1999, head booker Kevin Nash thought the whole first hour of Nitro should be nothing but NWO video packages and a Conan rap video. I'm not sure if that was necessarily Nash's idea, but yes, there was a whole first hour of Nitro where they had nothing but talking, and that did not work out for WCW. That definitely turned off a lot of people. That was just one of many mistakes they made in 1999. So thank you for that, Hamp. We had Legado del Fantasma confronting Dragon Lee backstage, and they were bullying him, saying he's nothing. He's no Rey Mysterio. They shoved him to the ground, bunch of bullies picking on the kid in middle school type of deal. And then we had Tiffany Stratton versus Michin, which was another basic match. I mean, not even really a house show quality match. It was just a glorified squash match almost. Michin got in a little bit of offense, not much. Went for the Styles Clash, but Tiffany countered it, and then Tiffany got the win with the prettiest moonsault ever. Very basic stuff here. Showcase match for Tiffany. We had a video package, a video promo from AJ Styles, and he said that LA Knight doesn't deserve to be in the same locker room as him. LA Knight is nothing but a loudmouth who needs some humbling, and AJ said he is a phenomenal choice for the job. And then we had a response from LA Knight. He was watching it on TV, and he took a chair and he beat the crap out of the TV with the steel chair. I mean, but yeah, it looks like this is another WrestleMania match, so gotta dedicate some TV time for it. And then we had Angel Garza versus Dragon Lee, which was what I thought was the best match on the show, but didn't really get too much time here. A standard TV match, but a little bit higher quality than the other ones. Angel Garza faked a leg injury to get the upper hand. And then after the break, Lee made a comeback, came off the top of the double stomp. He sent Angel to the outside, and then he did a dive onto both Angel and Berto, which is his name now. And then he got him back in the ring. Angel caught Lee with a kick and then went for a power bomb, but Lee countered it, got the 1, 2, 3, and was immediately attacked by Legado. And it was noted on commentary that the LWO was not in the building. Not sure where they were at. I know Dominic Mysterio got married. Congratulations to Dominic. But kayfabe-wise, Rey Mysterio would not be there, right? He is estranged from his son. But yeah, no LWO this week. For some reason, they were not called into SmackDown. So poor Dragon Lee got beat up. But Rey Mysterio will return next week. There you go. We had Tyler Bate playing WWE 2K24 backstage, and Pete Dunne showed up and looked to be very disgusted that Tyler Bate was playing a video game. Bate said he was going to go talk to Nick Aldis about the tag title situation. He left, and when he was gone, Dunne decided to play some WWE 2K24, whatever it's called. So there you go. And then we had a little video package from Damage Control, basically saying if Bayley was smarter, she would have figured out that they were going to turn against her. And they said that Bayley was never part of Io Sky's vision. And then Dakota challenged Bayley to a match for next week's show. So I will say this. Up until this point, I thought this was a pretty lackluster SmackDown, like almost below average. I would say a C- because I did like the Logan Paul stuff, but I felt like a lot of this was filler up until the main event segment. So until this point, I thought it was a C+ maybe. Not a very compelling SmackDown. Then we had our main stuff here. I mean, this was the real meat of the show. This carried a lot of the weight of this SmackDown. We had Roman Reigns and The Rock come into the ring, 9:35, so you knew this was going to get a lot of time. They kept Reigns' entrance about as short as possible. Rock came out. He has a bit of an updated entrance. He's got some new special effects. They got thunder and lightning effects for his entrance. Looked pretty cool. And Reigns said that greatness stands before Dallas, Texas. He told the fans to acknowledge them. And then we finally had Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins arrive through the crowd. And Seth Rollins had his mouth taped up, and $7 was taped. It was written on the tape over his mouth. And we had a commercial break before we got the final segment. Crowd was singing Seth Rollins' song, and then we got down to business. So Cody asked, this was Cody and Rollins responding to the WrestleMania challenge. Cody asked if The Rock has the authority to make the stipulation because Rock acknowledged Reigns as his tribal chief. And Cody was about to answer the challenge when The Rock, who was all fired up, responded, said that he acknowledged Reigns because that is what family does. And then Rock went over the stipulation again that if Rock and Reigns win on night one, the Bloodline can do whatever they want. It's Bloodline rules. But if Cody and Rollins win, no Bloodline interference whatsoever. And crowd started chanting diarrhea. So again, as goofy as that was on Raw with Rollins calling The Rock Diarrhea Dwayne, it worked. You got a sold-out crowd chanting diarrhea at Roman Reigns. Or not Roman Reigns, at The Rock. Well, maybe Roman Reigns too. But they did cheer for both guys quite a bit. I mean, there were Rocky chants. The crowd was into everybody here. So, it's definitely a lot of star power in this potential, well, not potential anymore, this match for WrestleMania 40. So Rollins got on the mic, called The Rock Mr. Midlife Crisis, which the crowd popped big for, and officially accepted the match. So we do have the tag team match to main event night one. Roman Reigns laughed and called Rollins a cross-dresser, which that might get some heat with people, but yeah, that was quite the line there from Roman Reigns. And then The Rock talked about how he is on the TKO board of directors, and because of that, he is the boss of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. And The Rock made it clear that if Cody Rhodes does not win the Universal title from Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, he will never get another title match again, which is an interesting one. I mean, to say this makes me think that, well, now Cody is 100% winning. Not that I thought that there was any real chance of him losing before, but now this seems to make it even more of an official thing that Cody cannot compete for the title again. But of course, Triple H could always overrule that or whatever. And yeah, unfortunately, as Jerry pointed out, I would not be shocked. Apparently, there's been talk about The Rock doing one of his concerts next week in Memphis, and I hope they do that. I will be very disappointed if next week is just a contract signing with these guys. Please don't do that. I would much prefer The Rock concert. I want to hear Cody Crybabies, the single. So anyways, The Rock continued his insults towards Cody, and he brought up Cody's family, and then he went for the big insult, saying that Cody was a mistake. And that's when Cody slapped The Rock. Remember, The Rock slapped Cody. Cody slapped The Rock. And that's when SmackDown went off the air. So let me get to the super chats. And going back to the earlier super chat, I almost feel like Rock and Reigns have to win to stack the deck against Cody for night 2. So you asked me who should win that, and I think that would be the right call, but we'll talk more about it. We still got several weeks to go here. Now, Chunky's super chat, let me get to that, says, Seth Rollins calling The Rock a midlife crisis when he himself is 37 and dresses like a rainbow TikToker. 37 is still young. I like to say I'm still young, and I'm 41 now. So I would say midlife crisis, in my own defense, is more like 50. That's midlife at this point. 100 years ago, you could say maybe 40 is midlife crisis, but people are living longer now. People are living 80, 90, even 100. So I'm going to say that it wasn't that bad coming from Rollins. And Building Nexus, his $2 super chat, he says, how long until we get concerned about Jimmy versus Jay? Yeah, I am with you on this. Like, Jimmy was there. Him and Sola were just standing there. But, we got to get the ball rolling with this. I want to hear a promo with Jimmy and Jay. So I don't know if on Raw Jimmy shows up again or if Jay calls out Jimmy for WrestleMania. But we got to start getting the ball moving with this and get some promos with these guys. Maybe it's best if they do it on Raw, but we got to get – I really think that next Monday, Jay's got to go out there and throw down the gauntlet and call out Jimmy for WrestleMania and have Jimmy show up on Raw the week after, and let's really build some heat for this match. Chunky sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Chunky. Says, I feel like The Rock will get CM Punk to cost Seth Rollins the title at WrestleMania. Well, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't think CM Punk is going to turn heel. I could see Punk being the referee. Either that or the special guest enforcer, or he shows up unannounced. But Punk is going to be at the WWE World signing on Sunday. So he'll be there for sure. And with Drew McIntyre making all the insults and references, you have to think that CM Punk is somehow going to be a factor in that match. And Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, Virtue's not going to be happy. And then he added RIP Akira T. Virtue, I think, is just happy that The Rock is doing his thing. And we got Roman Reigns main eventing 2 nights of WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Well, Rollins isn't main eventing 2 nights, but Rollins is getting one main event. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes both getting 2 WrestleMania main events back to back. Like, that is huge. That is big for both of them. So I think Virtue's happy with that. But yeah, the whole thing where Cody can never challenge for the title again. That does make it more obvious that he's winning. I like the Dax stacked against him, but maybe not that much. Hamp Connell sent in a $9.99 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. I very much appreciate it. There's the thumbs up for you. He says, here's my booking. Bloodline wins night 1. Rock turns on Roman to help Cody win. Roman wants answers on SmackDown. Rock's answer is, never tell me to acknowledge you again. You acknowledge The Rock. I like that. I definitely see The Rock going back babyface. I'm loving the heel Rock right now, but I feel like he'll turn face. Could they have Roman Reigns go face against a heel Rock? That would be interesting. But yeah, I like that line though, where The Rock says, you acknowledge me. And I think Virtue is right. And everybody that's been saying it, The Rock is basically overshadowing Roman Reigns right now. And I think that's all by design. They got The Rock standing on one side of the ring. Roman Reigns is on the other side of the ring. And you could see it's very subtle, but Roman Reigns is feeling like he needs to be the spotlight, and The Rock is kind of taking that away from him. So it's all brewing. And I do think we're going to see it at WrestleMania 41. They're going to take their time with this one, not rush it. I know there's rumors about The Rock possibly doing a second match this year, maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe SummerSlam, but I really think they're going to save the big one until WrestleMania 41, which looks like it's going to be in Minneapolis. I mean, Las Vegas was rumored, but Minneapolis seems to be the most likely venue to host the premium live events. The U.S. Bank Stadium, I think it's called, in Minneapolis. So all in all, SmackDown was a good show, but take out the final segment, and I thought it was okay. I give the show a solid B, but a lot of that is due to the final segment. The final segment was money. They did a great job with that, setting up the tag team match. They didn't really set up anything for The Rock on next week's show, but you know they always have Raw to promote some stuff. So yeah, that final segment carried the show. And quite frankly, I say if you didn't watch SmackDown, check out the final segment. Rest of it is skippable, in my opinion. There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap for this. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe and follow No DQ at No DQ DOTCOM. And stay tuned for all the latest wrestling news updates. Have a great weekend, everybody. And buy a shirt, NoDQ.com/merch. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.